Today we are going to start Civics, Chapter 1, the Union Parliament. The term Parliament refers to that central authority which makes law, exercises control over the Union Council of Ministers, considers issues concerning citizens, and passes the national budget. To understand our Parliament, or rather the Union Parliament, we have to understand certain things. First thing we have to understand that there is a federal setup in India. What is federal setup? Federal setup means dual government. There are two governments operating parallelly or at the same time in India. Federal government involves a dual government, that is the national government and the government of the component state. You know, the national government means the central government or the government which is in Delhi. And the governments of the component states means different states have their specific state governments. For example, we have our state government. We have a specific government in West Bengal, which is our state government. We have a specific government in Delhi, which is the central government. So, these dual government, they work hand in hand. So, our constitution declares that India shall be a union of states. That means that there is a distribution. The powers are distributed. Legislative, executive, financial powers are distributed between union and states. Union over here means the central government, Delhi specifically, and the different states. So, what are the characteristics of the federal setup of India? Number one, dual government and distribution of power. That means the government of the whole country is called the union government. That means the central government. And governments of the component units, that means different states, are known as state governments. Okay? So, each citizen lives under two sets of laws. The laws of the states, for example, those who stay in West Bengal, we are under two sets of laws. One, the state law. Another is the central law. Second, supremacy of constitution. The center and state governments derive their authority from the constitution. From the constitution, they derive their authority. Therefore, the state governments are by and large independent of the control of central government in the spheres assigned them to the constitution. What does it mean? The constitution has specifically said in which areas the state government can function independently. The state government is not always in every aspect dependent to the central government. So there are certain aspects which has been clearly stated in the constitution where the central government can operate independently. Second, the Supreme Court is the final interpreter and guardian of the constitution, which means if center or states go beyond their limits, in certain cases they can go beyond their limits while functioning, then functioning of the federal government will become difficult. So there should be some parent organization who can pull their leash. So the Supreme Court can settle the dispute between the central and state. There are a lot of disputes between the central and states. So there should be an independent organization or an independent body which will settle the disputes between the center and the state. So dispute settling between the center and the state is done by the Supreme Court. So this is the federal setup of India. Question is often asked. Now we go straight to the Lok Sabha. Parliament consists of, now this is very interesting. Parliament consists of three parts. Number one, the President of India. number 2 the Lok Sabha, and number 3 the Rajya Sabha. If a question is asked, mention the components of the Indian Parliament. Please don't write Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Poor president is also there, so mention his name also. The Parliament consists of the president and the two houses, to be known as the House of Parliament, renamed as later as Lok Sabha, and the Council of States renamed as the Rajya Sabha. Now, term or duration of the House. These are all questions, short questions, which are asked in the ICSE examination. The term of the House is 5 years. It is not dissolved earlier. When a proclamation of emergency is in operation, the life of the House may be extended by the law of the Parliament. Only during the time of emergency, the life of the House can be extended. Otherwise, it is for 5 years, Lok Sabha. What is the composition? Question is often asked. The maximum strength of the Lok Sabha is 552, out of which 530 members represents different states, 20 members shall represent territories. That means 530 plus 20 is 550, and 2 members are nominated by the president from the Anglo-Indian Society. Okay. Now, effective strength of the Lok Sabha is 545. That means 543 plus 2 Anglo-Indian Society. So, 545 is the effective strength. Okay. Now, reservation of seats. Seats have been reserved in the Lok Sabha for the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. Okay. Now, universal adult franchise. The House is constituted by direct election. The members of the Lok Sabha are elected through direct election or general election. Okay. What are the qualifications of the member? Must be the citizen of India, must not be less than 25 years, must possess qualification as prescribed under the law of the Parliament. The Parliament has given certain qualifications. If these qualifications are fulfilled, then he can always become the member of the Parliament. What is the disqualification? Rather, how can a member be disqualified? If he holds an office of profit under the government of India or of any state, a member of the Parliament, Lok Sabha, should not hold any office of profit under any government organization. Number 2, if the person is unsound mind and stands so declared by competent court, that means if he is mad, and if it is proved, if one is an undischarged insolvent, if he is insolvent, and if a person is ceased to be a citizen of India, if a person is no more a citizen of India. These are all short questions which are asked. Now, every member of the Lok Sabha and of the Rajya Sabha shall, before taking the seat, that means before starting their office in the specific houses, takes an oath. Oath means promise, or make an affirmation before the president or some people appointed by him. So who takes the oath? The President of India takes the oath. Now, vacations of seats. A seat of the member of the either house becomes vacant under the following circumstances. Number 1, if a member resigns by writing and gives his resignation to the Speaker of the Lok Sabha or the Chairman of the Rajya Sabha. If a member without permission of the House is absent from all meetings for a period of 60 days, he will be disqualified and he has to vacate the House. And if a member becomes subject to any disqualification laid down under the Constitution. What is quorum of the House? What do you mean by quorum? Quorum means the minimum number of members required to be present before a meeting is allowed to begin. Before a meeting is allowed to begin, the minimum number of members required to be present. So the quorum to constitute a meeting of the House is 1/10 of the total members, which includes the speaker or the person who presides over the meeting. Thus, at least 55 members should be present each day for the parliament to function. Salaries and allowances. Members of the houses are entitled to receive salaries and allowances as decided by the parliament from time to time. What are the language? Business in the parliament is transacted in Hindi or English. The Speaker of the Lok Sabha and Chairman of the Rajya Sabha may permit any member who cannot adequately express himself or herself in Hindi or in English to address the House in his mother tongue, but prior permission is required. Leaders of the Lok Sabha. For the success of the parliamentary democracy, leader of the opposition is also needed. Okay. So, opposition has to play a very important role. In the Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, party gets recognition as the parliamentary party if 1/10 of the total membership of the House is there. The leader of the largest party of the opposition parties are recognized as leaders of the opposition party in both houses. Very important. So, what does it mean? In Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, a party gets recognition as parliamentary party if it has 1/10 of the total membership of the House. Okay. Now, the leaders of the largest among the opposition parties are recognized as leaders of the opposition in the both houses. So, a proper functioning of democracy in a parliament, there has to be a ruling party and there has to be an opposition party. So, in the next class, we will start with the Speaker of the Lok Sabha. A little information regarding the Speaker. The Speaker is the principal presiding officer of the Lok Sabha. A Speaker is the presiding officer of the Lok Sabha. You must have seen on television that the Speaker sits on a specific chair and he controls the working of the Lok Sabha. The Speaker regulates the debates. The Speaker can take disciplinary action against any members. The Speaker has got administrative functions. The Speaker has got supervisory functions. So, the office of the Speaker is of great honor and responsibility. The Lok Sabha represents the nation. Therefore, the Speaker becomes a symbol of nation's dignity. It's a very, very honorable and responsible post. So it needs, in the next class, in detail, we'll go and discuss the Speaker of the Lok Sabha, because separate questions, either in long question or in short questions, functions of the Speaker and the importance of the Speaker is asked. So today we have learnt about the federal setup and about a portion of the Lok Sabha. So in the next class we will meet again. Till then, study well, study hard. Thank you very much.